Hello and welcome to NCCTV. This is Antonio Manuel Prado, Director of Communication for Newcastle County Government. But if you like me, you could just call me Tony. I'd like to welcome you, along with my co-host, India Colon, to a new show called the Hispanic Hour. This is a show that will take a look at the issues facing the Hispanic community, which is one of the fastest growing populations, if not the fastest growing, in the state of Delaware. And the aim of the show is to be bilingual. That is, it'll be in English and in Spanish. And with that, India, take it away.
With that said, we're gonna bienvenidos a toda la comunidad. Estamos aquí con Newcastle County TV con un segmento nuevo que se llama Hora Hispana, trayéndole información y muchas personas que van a estar aquí en estos segmentos, trayéndole todo lo que van a necesitar de información con la comunidad que está creciendo.
Exacto.
Tan grande aquí en Delaware, ¿no? So estamos
no,
muy encantados de estar aquí y hacer este segmento nuevo que está supported by our County Executive Tom Gordon, y tenemos muchas cosas para ellos, muchas sorpresas, ¿no?
Muchas gracias. And I would like to introduce our first guest, and they are José Somalo, and he is the publisher of Hoy en Delaware, and his wife, Virginia Esteban. You are the editor. They are the dynamic duo that run Hoy en Delaware. They're based down in Georgetown, but they are covering the entire state of Delaware. Thank you very much for being here today, guys.
This is exciting.
Thank you.
This
Really
is
appreciate it.
exciting.
And they are two of my favorite people as I've gotten to know people around the state. But, you know, first of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves? This is a Hispanic show, so let's get it off the table. All right, you know, yo soy cubano puertorriqueño, you know, yo soy de Wilmington. I was born and raised in Wilmington. My father was from Puerto Rico, my mother is from Cuba. Tell us, you guys, you know, sois españoles.
That's important. People always want to know, where are you from?
You're
where
from
are you
Spain.
From?
Tell us what part and how long you've been in Delaware.
Okay, let me start briefly. And yes, I am José Somalo. I am from Spain, from Madrid. Vas a notar un acento madrileño, un acento español ahí bastante pronunciado, pero ahora esperar un poquito más porque quizás Virginia lo tiene todavía más fuerte.
Eso dicen. Yo no sé si es verdad o no es verdad, pero dicen que yo tengo el acento español, castellano, muy marcado. Los dos somos de Madrid.
So both of them are from Madrid. So those listening in English and Spanish, that's exciting.
Yes.
Very nice accents.
Nos
You hear that?
preguntabais por los motivos. ¿Qué hacemos dos madrileños por el mundo y qué hacemos en particular en Delaware, ¿no? Pues por hacerlo muy breve, yo diré que él es el culpable de que yo esté en Delaware.
In Delaware. We're excited they're in Delaware then.
So it's your fault, you're in Delaware.
It is my fault. I've been here quite a few years, and I decided to start a publication that was this year, 20 years ago. Time flies. And we are very...
Did you say 20 years?
20 years. We
Wow.
started in,
Wow.
I founded the newspaper in 1996. And this year we are celebrating our 20th anniversary, so we are very happy to be here. We are statewide, and we are delighted to be here in Newcastle County.
Wow.
I
Congratulations.
think that's probably
Felicidades.
congratulations. That's probably one of the first things we wanted to know, right?
Exactly. You know, that establishes how long you've been in Delaware. So tell us a little more about Hoy en Delaware and like the mission of the newspaper. You know, I see you guys out there. You know, you're in Newcastle County, Kent, Sussex counties, the whole state. You're covering various issues that are important, and that's why we wanted to bring in, you know, the journalists leading the way in the Hispanic community for our first show. Tell us about, you know, the mission of Hoy en Delaware.
I founded the newspaper in 1996, so we have been 20 years. We are a statewide publication. We are the largest and longest running Hispanic publication in the state. We cover, and as I said, the 3 counties, even though we have our office in Sussex, but in Georgetown, our commercial office, we are opening an office very soon in Wilmington, and that is kind of a kind of a total news. Within probably a couple of months, we should be having a commercial presence in Newcastle County and in the heart of Newcastle County in Wilmington. So the purpose of the newspaper was, when I arrived, the Hispanic population was growing. At that point, we have had a Hispanic presence in the state, like your families, for quite a few years. but some of us that arrived lately and in the last 25 years,
Welcome
we
to
arrive
America.
in large
Yay!
so we are arriving large numbers, and I was involved in another project and to bring Hispanic news to the newcomers as a way to embrace the community, and as a way not to here we are Hispanics and this is our fence. No, as a way to help the newcomers integrate in the community in the state and in the United States.
Muy bien, ahora en el castellano.
No, bueno, como estaba explicando, ya lleva 20 años con Hoy en Delaware, ¿no? Habla un poquito sobre su newspaper y la revista que, tú sabes, en el estado de Delaware se conoce de arriba abajo, en Sussex, en Newcastle County.
Pues nuestra misión es servir a la comunidad hispana y servir además de puente entre la comunidad hispana y la comunidad norteamericana, no con un afán de quedarnos encerrados en lo nuestro, sino de compartir. Yo creo que esa es nuestra gran riqueza. Tenemos mucho que dar, también tenemos que recibir, y eso es grande tanto para la comunidad latina como para la comunidad norteamericana. Creo que estamos en una posición unos y otros privilegiada aquí en Delaware, de poder compartir, de poder ser bilingües. Eso es una gran riqueza para todos, y de ser mucho más globales.
Sí.
Creo que esa sería la palabra, y eso es en lo que nosotros estamos y en lo que llevamos pues todo este tiempo.
That's a great mission. That's a great
Yeah,
mission,
that's
creating the
excellent.
bridge between the North Americans and the Latin Americans that are here. It's a great mission to be able to do that. And I appreciate it because there is definitely a big gap of misunderstanding in that sense. So you're doing a great job with that.
All right, what is your circulation presently, and is it growing?
Yes. We may reach close to probably 50,000 people, and that would be not only with our printed edition, but all of our platforms. And we have the printed edition, we have the web page, that is hoyendelaware.com, and we have our very engaged and Facebook page, that is Hoy en Delaware as well. And that really, that is a way to reach our population. Yes, we are growing. We are adopting very fast the social media, and that is not to take away the printed edition, but it's a way to complement the printed edition. There are quite a few things, and yes, when we were waiting for the program, we were putting some information, especially about the storm and all the things that are coming in the area. Those things probably in a monthly newspaper or a monthly magazine, they may not take place, but as far as having up to the minute and daily information, we are very engaged with our social media. So between all of that, and yes, we are growing. We have some of you are third, fourth generation here in the state, but the majority of the Hispanic community, we are getting into the second generation. That second generation English is their second language, so it's going to be a way to mix both, as this program is doing, both mixing English and Spanish. So probably around those numbers.
Okay, bien. Si nos puede explicar un poquito sobre la circulación, tú dices 50,000, pero eso incluye que la página de Facebook, de Internet, si le puede explicar un poquito sobre Hoy en Delaware y cómo es la circulación de eso.
Ok, incluye, estamos llegando a unas 50,000 personas, 50,000 diría no solo en Delaware, en los 3 condados, también tenemos una presencia bastante fuerte en varios condados de Maryland, en los que hay una interacción económica entre Delaware y esos condados. Entonces, entre no solo la comunidad hispana, tratamos de llegar dentro de la comunidad hispana desde la abuelita, el papá, la mamá, el niño, el hijo, el teenager. Esos son un poquito más rebeldes, pero también tratamos de llegar a ellos. Y luego todas las personas que estamos en Delaware, más todas las personas que están en Maryland, y toda la interactuación económica y social que hay.
Bueno, y yo quisiera añadir también en todo ese colectivo que tú has mencionado, también a los chiquititos, porque nosotros tenemos una sección desde que se fundó el periódico que es Little Hoy, y esa es para los más pequeños y está hecha, de verdad puedo aseguraros que con un cariño especial. Él se ocupa personalmente del diseño de esa sección y está hecha para los niños de 5, 6, 7 años, enseñándoles diferentes palabras en ambos idiomas, inglés y español,
Qué bien.
con dibujos, de una manera muy divertida. ellos son los lectores de mañana.
Qué bueno.
Entonces hay que empezar desde pequeñitos.
So, ya va creciendo hoy en Delaware, va a seguir creciendo y están incluyendo los niños
Sure.
ahora. It's growing, of course. They're doing the target now with the children, so that's amazing. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and speaking of el idioma, the language, I want to make a point. India and I were talking earlier about the different Hispanic populations, starting with Spain, then you have the various countries in Latin America, and some people have this misnomer that people are speaking different Spanish. And to me, it's very similar. You can draw a parallel to, America and England and Scotland. Everybody's speaking English, they just have different accents. It's not a
Very
different
different.
language, folks. I mean, do you agree with me? I mean, I think that's pretty,
It's
my
all
family, the
one.
Cubanos and los puertorriqueños, ellos tienen un acento, and listening to you speak in Espanol is like me listening to an Englishman in English. I mean, can you talk a little bit about how your publication, the language, it's understandable to everyone? I mean,
Among the different accents, you forgot to mention the Delaware accent.
Delaware accent.
that's important.
We spoke about that too, and that is very, very different.
Yeah,
Yes.
But the same thing in Spanish, I think we have the important within each one of our own countries. We do not speak the same way as we are in the north, the south, as we are in the city, we are in the countryside, we are in the mountains, we are in the beach. It is totally different. But the reality is that at the Spanish, if we try and if we want to understand each other, we can do it. And that is the same thing with people that are from Puerto Rico, from Mexico, from Guatemala, from Venezuela, from Spain, from some countries in Africa that they also speak Spanish. If we want to understand, there are certain commonalities. So yes, we can understand each other. And what you mentioned, the English from England, from Australia, from Scotland, from
Well, he said New York.
New York.
If you're from New York or Boston, right?
Yeah,
You're New
yeah.
York, Boston.
Florida.
It's
So,
all English.
It is all English. If they don't want to understand each other, they won't. But if they want, they will. So it is the same thing and similar to us.
Si nos puede explicar un poquito sobre los acentos y cómo eso conecta con hoy en Delaware. Hablar sobre ese tópico un poquito.
Nosotros procuramos utilizar en el periódico un español estándar, que sea accesible a todo el mundo, pero yo creo que con un ejemplo se va a entender muy bien. Si queremos decir la palabra coche, en español, para esa palabra, para ese significado, tenemos diferentes palabras. Coche, auto, automóvil, carro, vehículo. En inglés, car, y un poquito más, y
Sí.
que me perdonen. Y eso ocurre con muchísimas más palabras en nuestro
Sí.
idioma. Es tremendamente rico. Nunca acabas de conocerlo. Es un poquito lo que sucede en español de España. En estos momentos se utiliza más la palabra auto, automóvil, vehículo. En un español de México, por ejemplo, es carro la palabra que se utiliza. Pero si tú te remontas al
También para los
español-
puertorriqueños, y
El coche
cubanos,
que-
carro.
El carro, sí,
Claro.
sí, sí.
Sin embargo, si nos remontamos al español de España del siglo XV, obviamente no existían autos ni automóviles, eran carros. Y esa es la palabra que se importa y realmente en muchas ocasiones podemos comprobar que la esencia del idioma, el español puro, tal y como se hablaba en el siglo XV, es como se está utilizando en muchos países de Latinoamérica.
Sí. That's true.
Muy bien.
That is so true.
So you brought some copies of the paper, and I'm old-fashioned. I'm still all about reading the actual newspaper, but we live in an era where you also have to have an online presence, whether it's your website or all the social media options that you have, starting with the big one, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Can you talk a little bit about how you have to address that part of the business?
Okay. You want
The
to
printed
mention?
edition is a little bit different from the online and Facebook
Yeah.
because the printed edition is monthly. So it's more an analysis of the news. Facebook is instantaneous, immediately. Something happened and you can post it immediately. So it's a little bit different. I think it's complementary. A mí me gusta decir, somos comunicadores y nos gusta comunicar en todos los medios que la tecnología ponga a nuestra disposición.
Exacto.
Antes era exclusivamente el medio impreso, afortunadamente la tecnología nos permite ir abarcando más formas de comunicar y de llegar a las personas, pero la esencia siempre es la misma, la noticia desde diferentes ángulos, la noticia desde el hecho tal y como ha ocurrido, pero comunicamos noticias.
So your actual, I have to hold it up, right? So your actual physical Hoy en Delaware newspaper is the monthly issue then. So it comes out every month. You get up-to-date information on what's coming up, what's happened throughout the month, what's coming up in the next month. And then your online presence is that up-to-date, this is happening right now, let's keep everybody involved right at the moment. That's great. That's a great.
There is certain things like, there is, like Virginia said, and something in the newspaper is going to be more of an analysis, something that happened, and there is a report and a graphical report. We have some pictures of something that happened, and could be some analysis, and also it's a very good opportunity to present things that are going to happen. The online could be more, especially Facebook, could be something that is happening right now. That and that something that you bring immediately doesn't make any sense to put it in printing. That is why probably dailies they are not probably they won't survive on that regard. But something that is more of more of an analysis of afterthought, and that has a lot and a very good place in print.
Otra vez en inglés. So driving privileges has been in the news, and wanted to talk about some of the things that you've covered as a publication, as a newspaper, and that seems to be one of the issues that has been talked a lot about recently. And
Hot topic that
yeah,
you've published
hot
about.
topic.
It's the hot topic right now.
You know, and when when I were discussing who to have first on the show, I mean, it was a no-brainer. Bring in the leading journalist in the Hispanic community, or covering the Hispanic community. And so talk a little bit about, you know, your news coverage and you know, and including this issue of driving privilege.
We have the honor and the privilege to be, in that case, José was one of the members of the task force that studied about the availability of the driving privilege card here in Delaware. So we live in a passionate way all this process.
So yes, as
your
Virginia
experience?
said, I was in the task force, and I was appointed representing both the newspaper and the Mid-Atlantic Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And we studied close to a year the different issues, how other states were implementing and studying this issue. And I think we did a very good job, not because I was there, because there was the work of quite a few people that included the state police, state government offices, private organizations, community organizations like the Latin American Community Center here in Wilmington, and representatives from different industries that were affected or could be benefited or affected by this. So I think we put together something that was very similar to what was being implemented in Maryland at that point, with our own twist. I think what we did was very I think a very good piece of legislation, and was approved finally in middle of 2015, and the governor signed that right away. We have been covering that, knowing that that is a critical issue, because it's going to help many people that for one way or the other could not be driving in Delaware, and not driving meaning that they cannot take their kids to school, they cannot take their kids to the doctor, and so on and so forth. So this is gonna, and those people are gonna be driving, and not only they are gonna be allowed to be driving, but they are gonna be able to get insurance, and that affects all of us. And our quotes without insurance will go up if more people are insured, and that would guarantee that if we get involved into an accident, both people involved in the accident will have insurance. So this topic, it is affecting, and it's not affecting only the Hispanic community. It is affecting everyone in the state, and could be people from Canada, and we know of quite a few people from Canada, people from other countries that may not be, for one reason or the other, undocumented. So I think it's going to be a very positive. Right now we are in the implementation. We know, and we were talking with last weekend with the director of DMV, and close to 300 people have been approved for the fingerprinting, and that is the first step. And close to 1,300 people are already have appointments for the DMV to pass the exams. So and just started the January 1st, so it's huge. It's going to be, I think, a great benefit to our community and a great benefit to the to overall the state.
Como comunicadora ha sido uno de los momentos más apasionantes de toda mi trayectoria. Cuando yo coloqué, teníamos personas siguiendo en la Asamblea Legislativa, en el Senado, los diferentes pasos de la ley, pero la noche en la que el gobernador firmó la ley, pasó la ley en la Cámara de Representantes y inmediatamente fue firmada por el gobernador, el momento en que la gente que teníamos allí nos enviaron las fotografías y comenzamos a colocarlas en nuestra página de Facebook en primer lugar y después online, prepararlas para la edición impresa, pero inmediatamente en nuestra página de Facebook, la grandísima satisfacción durante toda esa tarde, larga tarde-noche de debate. Habíamos estado viviéndolo conjuntamente, porque el feedback de todos los followers nos estaban preguntando por interno,
Más
por inbox,
información,
llamándonos
sí.
qué estaba ocurriendo. La gente que estaba allí, que nos estaba mandando vídeos del debate, las fotografías, y cuando finalmente salió el sí y el gobernador firmó, nosotros llegamos a alcanzar a 70.000 personas.
En uno de los posts.
Solamente en uno de los posts.
Wow.
Es cuando realmente dices, esto merece la pena, lo que estoy haciendo sirve. Cuando la gente lloraba de emoción, cuando la gente escribía y llamaba dando las gracias.
Wow.
Es bueno para todos, es bueno para nuestra comunidad por todos los motivos que ha explicado José, pero es también bueno para el resto. Las carreteras de Delaware hoy en día son mucho más seguras. Es una garantía de seguridad para todos e independientemente para nuestra comunidad latina lleva un tremendo valor añadido. Así que creo que es un momento, lo recuerdo y lo vivo con pasión y lo vivo de una forma vibrante.
Tienen que ser emocionar.
Es muy
Han
emocionante.
estado desde el principio. Hoy en Delaware, ustedes como personas y los que están viviendo aquí también en Delaware, como parte de este movimiento de ayudar a los inmigrantes que tienen que conducir y manejar y no pudieron. Y ustedes han estado ahí cubriendo todo esto desde el principio, sirviendo en el Task Force, y eso tiene que ser emocionar, habiendo como eso ha cambiado la comunidad. Y como tú dices, más de 50.000 en ese post nada más.
70.000 personas.
Wow, that's amazing.
Increíble.
Increíble.
Pero ocurrió.
Y como tú dices, ¿cuántas personas ahora ya han hecho fingerprinting? ¿Y cuántas
Fingerprinting.
personas ya están registradas con la cita para hacerse el appointment, the next appointment?
Aprobadas, el primer paso son las huellas dactilares, fingerprinting,
Sí.
y han sido aprobadas, esto era la semana pasada, no nos olvidemos que empezamos el día 1 de enero, han sido 300 aprobadas, solo han rechazado a 2 personas. Ese es un paso que también, aunque es un poquito polémico, creemos que va a ser positivo, porque gente que no tiene nada que esconder va a poder empezar un proceso legal con el tema de estas licencias. La policía también era un hecho que necesitaba el tema de las huellas. Y como digo, 300 personas y más de 1.300, y esto estamos hablando que fue hace una semana, ya tenían cita para DMV, para la oficina el Departamento de Vehículos a
Y
Motor.
que quede muy claro, esto lo digo mirando a cámara, no hay que tener miedo, no hay que tener miedo. Hasta ahora, de todas las personas que han solicitado y que han puesto las huellas, únicamente 2, en función de los récords que tenían, han echado su solicitud para atrás. La policía lo ha explicado muy claramente. Nuestra obligación como policías es hacer cumplir la ley. Y la ley que se ha aprobado es la HB59. Luego vamos a perseguir que se cumpla la ley HB59. Estamos para ayudar a la gente y no para asustarla y atemorizarla. Eso sí que es muy importante que se lo dejemos todos claro al público.
So I wanted to ask about this event coming up. I believe it's called the Miss XV Magazine Expo. Am I saying that right?
Miss Quince, right?
Miss
Miss
Quince.
Quince.
The magazine.
Miss Quince.
Miss Quince.
Perdón.
No, it's perfect.
So what is it? When and where is it held?
Well, when I mentioned before, I like to say that we are a multi-platform in communications. So communication and writing, online, and in person. It's the way to connect with our followers, our readers. It's more than fashion show. We have fashion show. We are focused on the quinceañera event. It's a tradition in our community to celebrate the 15th of any girl, el
Yep.
paso de niña a mujer.
Sí.
Y es una forma de homenajear a las mujeres, homenajear a las familias. Es un evento familiar, de conectar con nuestros lectores y de ofrecerles mucho más que fashion show, desfiles de modas, de quinceañeras, que los hay, desfiles de todo tipo de ropa. Es una plataforma que brindamos para interactuar entre nuestra comunidad con la comunidad anglo y aprender recíprocamente unos de otros y ofrecer información, educar en muchas cosas.
Porque es un expo, ¿no?
Es
Es un
un
expo y
expo.
vienen muchas personas
Ujú.
con información de todo tipo. Y bueno, eso es algo que en la comunidad, bueno, mi hija tiene 15 años, so te imaginas que ahí estaremos nosotros
Bueno,
este
estáis
año.
invitados.
Sí, estaremos ahí este
De
año
hecho,
para eso.
Una organización como es Nuestras Raíces nos ha brindado desde el comienzo de la Expo su apoyo. Nuestras Raíces hace una tarea muy bonita y que abarca, entre otras muchas cosas, la Miss Hispanic Delaware, la organización y la elección de Miss Hispanic Delaware. Y Miss Hispanic Delaware y Little Miss Hispanic han venido siempre a nuestras Expo y es lo que yo quería antes explicar, ¿no? La misión o la tarea de educación. Algunos de nuestros sponsors hace donaciones, dona para scholarship, por ejemplo, para Miss Hispanic o para otras causas, y es una forma de decir, la belleza está muy bien, el evento de los 15 años está fenomenal, pero hay más. A través de la educación tú vas a perseguir tus logros, y de la misma forma que Miss Hispanic no solamente es una mujer o una niña mujer o una adolescente bonita, sino que además tiene una preparación, se está educando y es una plataforma para conseguir muchas más cosas. No hay más que ver la trayectoria de las Miss Hispanic Delaware, o sea, universitarias, las ves ahora, las primeras Miss Hispanic, Dios mío, en unas posiciones increíbles, ¿no? Intenta mostrar eso. El evento es una excusa para mostrar una gran cantidad de recursos y de posibilidades para las niñas y para, de paso, las familias, las mamás, las abuelitas, los papás.
Did you catch where and when it was?
No, I didn't. If you could say that again.
Okay. And
Este año tendremos el desfile en primicia de un importante diseñador mexicano, diseñador de las estrellas, y también diseña trajes de 15, Adán Terríquez. La
Wow.
colección para 2016 de Adán Terríquez va a ser exhibida por primera vez en el estado en la expo que va a tener lugar el 3 de abril en el Independence Hall en Millsboro. La entrada es gratuita, están todos ustedes invitados de 12 de la mañana a 4 de la tarde, toda la familia.
So ya no hay excusa, it's free, it's a free event. It's a free event.
April 3rd?
it is going to be Sunday, April 3rd, and it's going to be from noon to 4. And it doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, windy, sunny, we will be there. It is free admission, so all the family is invited, and we have things from the very little to the oldest, family event for everyone.
It's a beautiful country club, of course, guys.
And you
are
have a
invited.
special guest,
Thank
you
you.
were saying, in Spanish, but you do have a special guest that's going to be there.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay. Okay, surprise, surprise. So we have to get you guys there then. Wonderful. That's going to be exciting.
That
One,
sounds great.
one of the things that just the girl that is in the cover of this issue, and she was a contestant on La Voz, The Voice Kids, and she
Voice
has been
Kids.
participated in our last two events,
Uh-huh.
and
She's a wonderful singer. wonderful student and a wonderful girl.
Yeah,
She's
and Tony,
lovely.
you heard them, right? They said that they bring back people who have their old quince dresses, right? So I'm just saying, I have a dress that's about 20. No, I'm just kidding.
By the way,
Have an antique section.
for our English audience, the quinceañera is the 15th birthday in Latin culture for young ladies. The equivalent in mainstream culture would be the Sweet 16. You know, same difference.
Correct,
So.
it's equivalent to that. That's
All right.
exciting.
Well, it's you know, it's been a good segment. You know, that's all of our questions. Eso es todo. No tenemos más preguntas. ¿Tenéis vosotros más algo más o
Is there
no?
anything else you want to add?
Desearos la mejor de las suertes con la andadura de este programa. Seguro que va a ser un
Gracias.
grandísimo éxito, va a ser de un gran servicio y ayuda a la comunidad. Así que adelante.
Muchas
Yeah,
gracias.
muchas gracias.
And the last thing I was reading this week that probably in 2016, half of the Latino population is going to be millennials in the United States. Probably in Delaware, we even have more. And we have to put a lot of care on that younger population.
That's
And
right.
that is not only for the Hispanic population, but the entire community. We have to take care of our youngest because they are the future of our country, the state, and our communities.
Thank you. Always
Well,
informative.
Yes.
They're great.
And you know, Jose y Virginia, thank you very much for coming today. We really appreciate it, India and I. And we look forward to bringing you back.
Yeah. And thank you for informing the community always. 20 years. Congratulations.
Okay, gracias.
Thank you for inviting us.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right, folks, keep it tuned right here to NCCTV. We'll be right back after this short message. Quédense aquí, volveremos pronto. Okay, we are back. This is Tony Prado for Hispanic Hour, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, India Colon. And I'm so pleased to say our next guest is Ronaldo Tello. He is the editor of Delaware Hispano magazine. This is a magazine that's on fire. It's catching attention all over the state. And we're so happy for you to be here today, Ronaldo. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh, Tony, India, we are so excited about visiting the house of our Newcastle County and to talk about this publication that is reaching the Latino community in the state of Delaware.
Bueno, aquí estamos nosotros con Newcastle County TV, con Ronaldo Tello, haciendo la segunda parte de nuestro segmento Hispanic Hour. Y Delaware Hispanic Magazine, vamos a hablar sobre toda la información y todo lo que he estado haciendo. Y estamos muy encantados de tenerte aquí con nosotros.
Fantástico que podemos hablar esto en español y en inglés, India, Tony, y ciertamente estamos muy emocionados de venir a visitar la casa de nuestro condado de Newcastle para hablar de la revista gratuita Delaware Hispano que está conectando con la comunidad hispana en el estado de Delaware.
Muy bien. And Ronaldo, before we get into some of the details about your publication, why don't you tell us first a little bit, you know, about yourself? You know, I know that, you know, for instance, you know how, you know, us Latins are. For those, like I said earlier, you know, I'm cubano puertorriqueño,
Sí, sí,
India,
sí, sí.
puertorriqueña.
Puerto Rican.
sí.
You know,
It's
so
a
tell us.
mixture. This is a mixture here. That's what I want to
Exacto.
know.
Y yo, and I have a very good Puerto Rican friends because I actually came to United States to live near 4th Street in the Hilltop area as a Franciscan volunteer. It was kind of a missionary
neighborhood.
one-year work. I love that neighborhood, and I actually, you know, got to meet a lot of Puerto Rican friends. And then I married a Mexican woman, so I'm very, very lucky to have a little bit of, you know, arroz con gandules, sometimes from one of my friends, and then I can have, you know, a taco de algo por me because of my Mexican wife and Mexican family. But originally, I am actually from, can you guess? From Peru in Latin America. And some people tell me you are from Dominican Republic, which I really take very well because I love Dominican people and their food too.
No,
when
they have such a great, yeah, you don't have a Dominican accent.
when
Everyone
they
has a different accent.
When they
but-
listen to me, they say, "No, you're not from Dominican Republic." So it's so funny to see people trying to guess where I am from. But I'm from Peru. There is a great mixture there. You can see people that look like, Chinese people. You can see people with darker skin like myself. You can see Indian people, and that mixture, I think, it reflects what our Hispanic community is in general, because you can see that in Newcastle County as well, right? And so, yeah, I'm originally from Peru, and I came about 13 years ago with that missionary program to work with the Franciscans and the work that they were doing with especially immigrants.
Awesome.
Wow, so ya, nobody needs to wonder, no hay nadie tiene que preguntar, ¿de dónde tú crees que es? Ahí te lo ha dicho, Ronaldo is from Peru originally, representing the whole Hispanic community.
De
Pero
Perú,
qué
sí.
bien, muchas gracias por dejarnos saber eso.
Ciertamente, y es gracioso porque cuando la gente escucha hablar a alguien, ahí están tratando de adivinar de acuerdo a la pronunciación. Y muchos de mis amigos me han dicho que he perdido el acento peruano, y yo creo que es por lo que explicaba que estoy casado con una mujer de México. Tengo la suerte de estar casado con una mujer de México. Ella va a estar muy
Está
contenta de que dije
adoptando
eso.
el acento. You're adopting that accent. That's what he's doing. Yeah.
Well, so please tell us. I'm a big fan, by the way.
Thank you.
I enjoy conversing with you. It's always nice to meet, fellow intelligent professionals. And tell us about Delaware Hispano magazine. I mean, it just seems like it's just taken off and it's growing.
Oh yes, Tony, we are very happy in India to see the connection that we have created with the community. This is actually, we are past our 3rd year with Delaware Hispano magazine. Thank you very much. It's mostly in Spanish, but we also put some English parts because especially our youth, and they many times prefer to read in Spanish, so we have to consider that as well. But what has happened is that when we started the magazine, we were printing only 6,000 magazines, and then we increased to 7, then we 8, and now we are printing 10,000 magazines, because what happens is that, and thank you very much, community, for that connection and support. They take the magazine from the hundreds of places where when we put the magazine, some of them in the county, some of them in the state of Delaware, which has been very supportive of connecting and outreaching to the Latino community as well. So it has grown, and right now what I'm very excited about with the team is that we are also trying to help the business community with other solutions, because they came saying, we really want to be on the magazine in order for the Latino community to know about our business. But then they ask, can you do professional translations? And then they ask, can you help us organize an outreach event? And then we have gotten into even video production. So that's why I was looking at this beautiful set, by the way, and the cameras and everything, it looks great.
And you bring up a good point. I mean, you cannot have a publication without the business community. Like, I'm a journalist, 13 years experience, and I know that, you can't have a newspaper or a magazine unless you have advertisers. Advertisers come from the business sector. So
That's right.
You make a great point. You got to have, those relationships in the community.
Y en la comunidad tú empezaste hace 3 años atrás, ¿no? Y entonces con 6,000 revistas. ¿Y ahora en qué número está?
Ahora
¿Sirviendo la comunidad?
estamos imprimiendo 10,000 revistas, y es como decía.
En 3 años
sí.
está aumentando tanto.
Gracias
Can
a
you believe that?
y en verdad, gracias a que la comunidad toma la revista, la lleva a casa. Nosotros vemos de que por cada revista hemos calculado que hay 3 o 4 personas que leen la revista, porque está pues en la cocina, en el baño a veces.
Claro.
No nos importa con que la lea, y también la gente nos llama, nos hace preguntas, nos dice cosas que ellos quieren ver aquí. Por ejemplo, en este último número hemos escrito sobre cómo sacar la tarjeta de privilegio de conducir de Delaware, que es esta nueva ordenanza por la cual la gente, inmigrantes, hermanos indocumentados, también pueden acceder a una tarjeta o permiso para para conducir, lo cual hace nuestras carreteras más seguras, ¿verdad? Porque así aseguramos de que todos están pasando por el proceso de sacar un permiso y de pasar los exámenes, etcétera. Entonces ellos están muy interesados de cómo hacer, dónde voy, y hemos puesto paso a paso eso. Y también cualquier evento o recurso que hay en la comunidad o en nuestro condado, nosotros tratamos de ponerlo en la revista para que la gente pueda tener acceso, que es tan importante, el acceso a la información. Algunas personas me han dicho inclusive, bueno, ahorita recordaba de una mamá que me llamó recientemente y me dijo, por favor, se acabó en la tienda, mándame una. Y yo tenía esa curiosidad de por qué es tan urgente, tan importante. Y resulta que esta mamá lo que hace es corta algunas partes de la revista y se la manda a su hijo que está en prisión. Y porque en la prisión no puedes llevar la publicación entera,
Sí, lo
pero
tienes
ella
que
escribe
mandar.
una cartita.
You have to write a letter,
Exacto,
right?
y los recortes
Okay.
los pone allí para que su hijo esté enterado. Eso realmente me tocó el corazón y también del equipo que está trabajando conmigo en la revista. Eso es lo que nos mueve a seguir.
You spoke about your equipo, right? So hablaste un poquito sobre el equipo. ¿Cuántas personas es el equipo tuyo y cómo llegan 10,000 revistas a llegar al estado de Delaware? ¿Cómo es que llega?
Sí,
¿Es
eso
con el equipo o cómo lo hace?
Esa es una excelente pregunta y ciertamente somos cerca de 8 personas que hacen diferentes labores. No quisiera enumerar porque luego me olvido de uno y me va a pegar, pero...
You never want to leave out collaboration, people,
That's
right?
right. Pero estas personas son personas que ayudan con la distribución de la revista, que es tan importante, asegurarse de que esté allí cuando se necesita. Es gente que también ayuda con otros procesos como el poder diagramar, hacer que la revista luzca bonita. Una cosa que nos enteramos, Tony e India, acerca de las preferencias de nuestra comunidad es porque cuando empezamos la revista nosotros hicimos una investigación, un par de focus groups. Queríamos saber por qué es que la gente no se enteraba de los recursos y los eventos y descubrimos pues que ellos nos decían, no, ya no leo los periódicos porque no tengo tiempo, muchas letras. Entonces comenzamos a aprender, por ejemplo, que teníamos que escribir a un nivel de lenguaje no tan difícil de entender, que tenía que ser artículos pequeños, no tan largos para que la gente pueda responder a su atención. Y también descubrimos de que era muy importante tener fotos, colores, así que toda la revista es a color, la portada es brillante, como ven. Cuesta más y reduce lo que salga, ¿verdad?, de la revista porque gastamos más en ella, pero como ustedes saben es una revista gratuita y yo quiero agradecer a todos los negocios que nos ayudan a pagar por esta herramienta para nuestra comunidad a través de los avisos o los anuncios, ¿verdad?
Muy bien. Y ahora una pregunta en inglés. This is a bilingual show. We're being inclusive here. So tell me, it's a fine-looking publication. I mean,
Thank you, Tony.
It's beautiful, and as you talked about, you got to have a good presentation. But we're also living in an era where you need a strong internet presence. You need a strong presence on social media. You name it. You have a website. delhispano.com. You've got a Facebook page that's got some good numbers. And I don't know if you have a Twitter, but tell us about your online presence and the social media, the whole 9 yards.
Yes, and this is driven also by the young members of the team. I actually have Sandra Estrada, which helps us with social media, and you know how it is. Younger people are so knowledgeable about it, and it's fantastic because she has helped us, and also some of the events and contests even that we have done with our community has helped us grow our followers on, for instance, Facebook.
It's all about the followers.
Yeah, to 6,000. And what I like the most is
Wow,
that
that's
local.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, and it's local people. You know what made it grow the most? It was a contest to have your child on the cover of Delaware Hispano magazine, and we got thousands and thousands of people voting on the photos that had been sent by more than 100 people.
That'll do
and
it.
we put on the website, yeah.
if you try to put one of us on there, you would have had no followers, probably, right? Let's have a competition.
Yeah.
Let's get Antonio's votes up there, India's votes up there.
I don't
So that
think
was
so.
really smart.
You guys have a lot of followers too, so don't be
You
humble.
bring up a good point.
Yeah.
Like, if you find something that gains traction, do it. Like right now, as we're filming this, we have the big snowstorm approaching. And
Oh,
so
yes.
we put something on Facebook, we get like 3,000 people looking at that. You
That's
know,
right.
like as opposed to like 800 or 900 on a good day. So
That's so
I mean,
true.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Makes
and actually something else that we are doing is we are sending a e-newsletter in English, because a lot of the English only speaking or only English speaking community wanted to know more about the Latino community, and we said, how do we do this? And we decided to send an e-newsletter to hundreds of people that read it because they are interested in the Latino community. We are doing that every month as well. As you can see, our heart is just connecting. And I see the magic when we connect. That's what you are doing, India and Tony, through this show, is connecting the community in Newcastle County with resources and information.
And all of Delaware, by the way.
All of Delaware, because this has a great reach. Oh my God, so many people
All
are
of
looking at me. That's, you made me nervous already. But really, because we have a fantastic community, Latino community in Delaware, and community at large, I would say. You know, there are a lot of American businesses that help us pay for this because they know how important it is to reach out to Latinos now that we are growing exponentially, and that Newcastle County is one of the most diverse counties, and it will keep growing. In Delaware, I think we are probably passing the 10% as Hispanics. If you count undocumented brothers and sisters, maybe we are at 10% already, which is
Y
amazing.
así está haciendo ahora con Delaware Hispano. Por ahora tiene la página de internet, ¿no?
Exacto.
Tiene la página de Facebook,
Exactamente.
un e-newsletter que va a la comunidad que hablan mayormente inglés, que quieren estar informados. Y entonces, ¿tiene Instagram o algo así?
Sí, nosotros lo que tenemos es Twitter y también Google Plus, y ahora vamos a empezar algo muy fantástico que es, vamos a empezar a hacer streaming, live streaming.
Wow. That's
Y
fun.
lo que acabo de decir es de que vamos a empezar a hacer, a pasar video en vivo a través de nuestro website. Justamente ahora estamos entrando mucho al video. Hemos notado, en el último video que pusimos en una semana obtuvo 10,000 views, 10,000 vistas, y creo que es porque la gente hispana está en Facebook. Todavía no nos metemos tanto a Twitter, fíjate. Muchos sí, pero la mayoría está en Facebook. Hasta mi abuela, perdón, mi mamá, mi tía abuela, personas que nunca pensé que iban a meterse, están ahí, tienen su cuenta de Facebook.
Sí, todo el mundo es en Facebook, pero los jóvenes están como Instagram.
Sí, Instagram y
Tumblr.
Twitter.
Sí,
So,
sí.
yeah, the different demographic. Pero
Exacto.
muy bien. Pero me gusta que todavía está imprimiendo algo así
Sí.
para la familia que todavía no usa esa tecnología. Eso es importante.
Y mira, India, una cosa muy interesante, India y Tony, es que cuando hicimos la investigación antes de empezar la revista, nosotros sabíamos que las revistas americanas en general estaban bajando. La gente estaba entrando más a las tabletas y entonces no se imprimían tanto. Sin embargo, lo opuesto ha estado y sigue ocurriendo en la comunidad hispana que está en Estados Unidos. Ustedes sabían que las revistas latinas, en vez de bajar, están subiendo, y también la inversión en publicidad en revistas latinas ha estado subiendo en los últimos años. Es por eso que dijimos, wow, hay una necesidad de imprimir algo, de que la gente tenga algo en sus manos que pueda leer.
Claro que sí.
You were telling me about the Hispanic Awards this
Yes,
spring.
yes.
Tell us about the event. What are the awards about? You know, who's going to participate, et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you very much, Tony and India.
Here, let me hold that up. I feel like I'm gonna have this is your information.
We are
session.
so
We're gonna
lucky
hold
to
it
have
up for
such a
him.
beautiful model showing our flyer for the Delaware Hispanic Awards. Hey, listen, we are growing exponentially, and we have to have a way to recognize the efforts of small businesses, professionals, and leaders, and personalities in our community, but also even mainstream American companies and organizations that are going the extra mile to reach out to Latinos and showing their commitment with diversity. So that's what we will do that day. And believe it or not, we opened the nominations, and now we have more than 120 nominations that we have to put in categories. There will be more than 30 categories. And what I'm talking about is the Delaware Hispanic Awards 2016 that will happen at the Grand Opera House in the Baby Grand. And we also are going to celebrate it on April 1st at 6 p.m. And we will have a red carpet. We will have the ceremony in the beautiful theater. And then we have a Latin after party. Of course, our community loves to celebrate. And what better occasion than celebrating more than 30 small businesses, Latino small businesses in Delaware that are really thriving. And I'm talking about not only bigger businesses like a store or a restaurant, but I'm talking about also smaller businesses like a mechanic. For instance, we have a category for the best Latino mechanic, and you might want to know that because you might want to take your car to that person. And so nominations have just ended, and thank you, community. We got more than 120. And now in February, we are going to present the nominated people in each category, and everyone will be able to vote on our website, premioshispanos.com, and that would be saying in English is Premios Hispanos. Do you want me to spell it, or maybe there is a chance to put it there?
Yeah, we can put a graphic.
Fantastic. Premioshispanos.com, there is where you can vote from February 5th to February 20th. And then we will know who the winners are. As I'm saying, it's more than 30. And then that day, April 1st, please put it down so you can attend. And because we also have shows, artistic shows. It's going to be a very emotional night also because we have very powerful stories that will be presented that day from the Latino community. And also we are awarding some even university and state departments and other local officials that are really doing a lot of work to reach out to Latinos in Delaware.
That's a lot of recognition that's very well deserved in this community.
It is.
Pero para la comunidad, para que sepan, Delaware Hispanic, Ronaldo Tello is bringing el primer evento de carpeta roja, ¿no?
Así
a
es.
Delaware, que se llama Delaware Hispanic Awards. El primer evento carpeta roja. Explícanos un poquito sobre eso y cómo fueron para las nominaciones y todo eso, para que ellos sepan cómo pueden asistir al evento que viene ya pronto.
Por supuesto, muchísimas gracias India y Tony. Los Delaware Hispanic Awards son los premios hispanos de Delaware de 2016. Va a celebrarse el 1 de abril en The Grand Opera House, que está en el centro de Wilmington. Es un fantástico teatro con muchos años, es bellísimo. Y los esperamos a las 6 de la tarde, va a haber una carpeta roja, tenemos sorpresas, va a venir gente conocida nacionalmente y vamos a anunciarlo en la revista, así que siempre tomen la revista para que sepan quiénes están viniendo. Van a poderse tomar fotos en la red carpet.
Hay una noche de gala.
Exactamente.
Con corbata y un traje de... Okay, I gotta get my dress together.
Sí.
We gotta do that. We've gotta get your tuxedo ready.
Queremos ver el fashion y la moda de nuestra comunidad, que siempre es colorido, es muy alegre. Y bueno, ciertamente después también va a ser la ceremonia de presentación de los premios, donde va a haber inclusive shows artísticos. Y después en el mismo teatro, en la parte superior del teatro, vamos a celebrar un after party, una fiesta latina. Así que venga listo para estar todo el día. El gran baile, exactamente.
Bueno, que es una colaboración con The Grand Opera House and The Baby Grand, y van a haber muchas sorpresas ahí, ¿no?
Exactamente.
Qué
Muchísimas gracias por ayudarnos a complementar la información. Y me sonrío con India porque India es una persona que sabe mucho de galas y de premios. Ella por muchos años ha estado ayudando a producir eso.
Y para que sepan una vez más, ya pronto en febrero van a hacer las nominaciones, ya están las nominaciones,
Sí.
van a hacer los votos
Sí, señores.
para elegir el ganador para el
Exactamente.
evento del día 1 de abril, ¿no?
Exactamente.
Muy bien.
Por favor, conéctese para votar entre el 5 y el 20 de febrero. Hay más de 30 categorías, así que esté listo para pasar ahí sus 5 minutos eligiendo el mejor en cada categoría y dar su apoyo a estos servicios y negocios que nos acompañan y que realmente están sirviéndonos desde hace años.
And just to recap, you received at or over 120 nominations,
That's right.
and the nominations have concluded.
Mhm.
But now you have to go through
Voting.
Yes.
The voting.
But you're giving people a vote. You're really
That's
yeah,
right, yes.
it's the people who are
People's choice.
voting.
People's choice.
People's choice. They get to vote,
That's
and they're
right.
doing that through Facebook, right?
That, yeah, well, we are not letting people vote on Facebook
Okay,
because
through the
we
website.
have to make sure that it's a system that is very well kept together and give us the security that we need for such an important thing. Because some people might want to come and see the results, so we have everything through the website, but we are putting links on Facebook because that way people just click and they go and they can vote. So for the small businesses, it's people's choice. A lot of people will be voting, but we also have some special awards that is the committee, kind of the editor's choice that we are presenting to some people. Yes.
It's exciting. The voting. It's always
I hope to
exciting.
see you both there because now you are, you are TV personalities, and this is a fantastic show, and I really, I want to take the opportunity to recognize you first of all because it's one big step for our community to have this show, and then thank you for doing it in a bilingual way. So you really care and show the care and the commitment of our county executive and staff about reaching out to diverse communities in Delaware to make an effort to make this bilingual is fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Muy bien. Okay, eso es todo. No tenemos más preguntas. ¿Usted tiene algo más o no?
Bueno, solamente el reiterar que estoy muy contento de que haya este programa nuevo, es tan fantástico, tan especial, que es una hora latina, que responde un poco al nombre del programa, en el que la gente puede sentir que nuevamente hay un medio más, porque también son un medio más que va a ayudar a que haya unión y colaboración en nuestra comunidad. Sé que este canal del condado de Newcastle ha ido creciendo a pasos agigantados. Antes me acuerdo que solo eran letritas y anuncios escritos que salían por allí y pues uno pasaba y no veía, pero los felicito y en especial Tony, yo sé que tú, Tony Prado, estás detrás de ese desarrollo y tenemos suerte comunidad de que Tony tiene corazón latino también, ¿no? Entonces, qué bueno de que él pueda ser el líder de este programa bilingüe. Y qué fantástico tener India. Yo sé que hay un montón de gente que te conoce y viendo este programa. Así que los felicito, estoy muy contento por ustedes. Son grandes amigos y bueno, pues qué bonito que en el programa de hoy hayan podido invitarnos a los diferentes medios para poder estar unidos también en la información que damos a nuestra comunidad.
Thank you, Ronaldo. Thank you for all the information.
Yeah, we were just saying that was everything. We didn't have any more questions today, unless there was anything else you wanted to add for the benefit of our English listeners.
Sure, and I was just saying to the Spanish-speaking community how wonderful it is that this channel that I remember one day, some years ago, it was only, little written announcements and you would just jump and not watch it. It came a long way and very quickly. We see,
Thomas P. Gordon's vision.
Yeah.
and I have to say that that's the right vision, and of course, just the fact that you are also Tony Prado behind this as a person in charge of communications, and the way that you have, use all your talents and all your network to really move this ahead. and have this fantastic channel that reaches beyond Newcastle County to our Delawareans, and also the fact that you have a Latino heart and are also bringing this program that is in English and in Spanish is just it's just fantastic. So thank you very much, because this type of media help us bring together our community, and thank you for inviting the different media in this show, because as we are connected, we can also help bring the right information to our community that so much needs it.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Ronaldo.
much. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my boss, County Executive Thomas B. Gordon, for his encouragement, as well as Chief of Staff Jim McDonald and Communications Specialist Robin Brown for their encouragement in getting this new show started. It's exciting.
It's exciting.
And most of all,
the
thank you,
support.
India.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have been invited. This is
Oh
all
my
new to
God.
me, so I'm just going to absorb it.
Well,
The experts.
I think you guys have a great chemistry, by the way.
Thank you.
And this is so important on TV. So I think people are going to be watching every time the program comes. And of course, thank you to the county executive for this commitment to diversity, and to all his staff as well.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, that brings to a conclusion the inaugural episode of Hispanic Hour here on NCCTV. Once again, I'm Tony Prado with India Colon, my co-host. We want to thank you for watching, and please keep it tuned to NCCTV. Thank you for watching. Until next time.
Y bueno, aquí estamos nosotros cerrando el primer segmento de Newcastle County TV, Hora Hispana, aquí celebrando toda la información que se le va a traer a ustedes sobre la comunidad y el estado de Delaware. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros aquí al lado de Antonio Prado, el director de comunicación de Newcastle County TV.